Hey everyone, I just wanted to come on and tell you a little about the story behind my new EP, Letting Go, Hanging On. I was thinking today while I was working, pretty much nothing that I write is ever fluff or, just for fun. It comes from a deep place in my heart, oftentimes a place of just crying out to God and pouring myself out to Him. Ever since I was a child, music was my way to communicate to God when I had no words. This album reflects one of those times in my life. Back in October was when we had heard that the US-Canada border was about to close to all unvaccinated travel. I have a lot of family in Texas. My brother and his family is there. My sister and her family are there. I'm very close to all of them. My sister and I, we were best friends growing up, and I hadn't seen them in years. It had been a long time since we had seen them, and they contacted us and said, hey, you know what, we have these tickets, we have points for tickets, and we really want to see everybody before the borders close. So I jumped at the opportunity to go and spend time with my family. Gotta tell you, that visit was as painful as it was beautiful, because with that visit came the realization and just the knowing that when I turn around and go back home, I don't know when or if I see you guys again. Before I left for my trip to Texas, the Lord spoke to my heart and said, there's a song that you're going to write in Texas. Anyways, during my time at Texas, I just couldn't put into words the ache in my heart. I actually have an extra verse to my song Letting Go, Hanging On, and which I didn't put on the recording, but it sums up how I was feeling. The lyrics went, I feel like I'm chained down while being torn in two. That's what I felt like I can't leave where I live to be with my family in Texas. And even if I could, I have family in Canada. And there's wherever I go, wherever I choose to stay, my heart is torn. But during that time, I just reflected on God's faithfulness in my life through times past, through my childhood. I've seen His hand on my life in many miraculous stories. God was with me through an abusive marriage, through the divorce, through all of that. And God has always been there, and He's always been faithful. And that doesn't mean things are always pretty, because just because God is there doesn't mean everything is perfect. We live in a messed up world. The world is living the consequences of sin, and we deal with that. And so contemplating and just meditating on the faithfulness and the goodness of God, my heart just cried, God, I'm letting go. I'm letting go of things I can't control. My heart is weighed down. Things I don't understand, and I have no answers to what's going on. But God, you do. And I'm letting go of these worries, and I'm going to trust you. I'm hanging on to you. So you're my source, you're my hope, you're my peace. That's where the song Letting Go, Hanging On came from. So that's how Letting Go, Hanging On came about. It was a cry of my heart to the Lord of release and surrender. If you're going through a tough time, if you you have questions you can't answer, your heart is weighed down with the weight of this world of difficult things. Maybe it's your health, maybe it's your marriage, maybe you feel like you're chained down into a bad marriage, and you feel like you're being torn in two, because how do you leave? How do you leave when you have kids? How do you leave and start over? How do you leave and find a new identity when this has been your life? You know, there's so many circumstances that this song can apply to, and anyways, that's the story. And yeah, I just thank God for his faithfulness. I just thank God that he's our source, that he's our peace. And you know, we can take those heavy burdens and we can give them to him. Those things that weigh us down, those things that we worry about. Hang on to him. Does not mean your heart is never sad. Does not mean that there's no tears. It means that, you know, there's this peace in the deep recesses of your heart, a peace that you can't understand despite your feelings, despite your circumstances. And you know that he promises that he will work all things out for good for those who love him, that are called according to his purpose. That's you, and that's me. If you've made Jesus the Lord of your life, that's you. You're his child. And if you haven't, you can be. And you can find that source of peace. You can let go of what weighs you down, because he's got you. He wants you to take his hand. And he wants to take you through those tough times. Lord, he wants to carry those burdens for you. The Bible says, take my yoke upon me, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Take my yoke upon you. That's what Jesus says. Anyways, I just pray that whatever you're going through, that you find peace in Jesus, and that you will learn to be able to let go of everything that holds you down and hang on to him.